I woke up this morning with such an intense feeling to make this video and talk about these subjects that I never talk about, which is politics and religion. What is true freedom? Division, war, television, money, the things that these wannabes at the top think that we cannot rise above. When something is taking away your power, eventually you feel it. You know something's wrong. You say, this isn't life. When you question everything in your life and you see addiction all around you, whether it's addiction to alcohol, sex, sugar, pharmaceuticals, whatever, violence, you know that something's wrong. When the world is killing animals by the trillions and consuming their flesh mindlessly, and these are other sentient beings, I'm not saying you can't eat meat. I don't, because I don't want blood on my hands for any being that's on its path. But for the people that do, to at least have consciousness that this amazing being died to feed you. And the thing is that's when it's packaged and killed for you. My neighbor slaughters steers. He calls a truck. And it's right in front of my barn. And I get so upset when he does this, but I just ask him to please call me so I don't have to be home. But they come and just put a bullet in its head, hoist it up by its back legs, slit it, drain its blood, and take a chainsaw to it. And just rip it apart and then throw the parts they don't need in a grinder. And you hear this grinder going for 3.5 hours. And let me tell you that the cows that witness this, whether it's the free-range cattle that are walking around and hear it, or it's the ones that were its family, going through a depression for 3 days. They don't eat. They're depressed. And people think that they don't feel. They feel exactly what we feel. And people who say they don't are just mind-controlled. Because when you're really connected, you see it with your own eyes, that they have the same feelings we have, identical. I have a bull and steers and chickens and cats and rabbits and 6 horses, and I have my hands on animals all day long. And I rescue them, and I heal them, and I train them, and I ride, and nobody can tell me that these animals are not conscious, sentient beings. I became a vegetarian about 5-6 years ago, and I feel just as good as I've ever felt. Better, I mean, way better, because I don't have that consciousness that their death is on my hands. How many animals have died just to feed me? And I'd probably be one of the few that would rather starve to death than eat animals. But that's a personal choice, and I don't judge it. If someone wants to do that, trust me, in the past, I was raised in a meat-eating family and bought plenty of leather saddles and leather shoes, and I didn't even realize it. My other neighbors raise veal, and when I see all these little baby calves ripped from their mothers with little milk on their lips, wanting to suckle, and they're thrown in these boxes, and you hear their cries, and they don't see the sunlight, and they can't move, and they yearn to play and take naps in the sun, and they're killed for that soft leather and that soft flesh that they have, that muscle. It's so cruel. It's heartless is what it is. My other neighbor raises rabbits for food. I have it all around me. And there's nothing you can say. These people will not listen to you as if they're robots. And I am stronger than all of them put together. They can't believe my strength. Because I feed my body with love and food with love, and I choose to eat as healthy as I can. And I'm not obsessed with counting calories or protein or anything. I just really try to listen to my body and what it needs. So, you know, that's a personal choice, but it's part of the enslavement, just like television. I took my television out in '09. I don't miss it at all. I watch a few YouTubes to keep myself informed, but the majority of my day is spent outside, working with the land and the animals. I miss singing. It's something that I love, and I will make CDs when I can and put them out there. But it's my true happiness is being with the animals. Everyone out here seems to be packing guns in the country. They have them on their hips. They have them in their Polarises. They're shooting their guns off all the time. And when people come out here, oh, it's so beautiful. And I go, it's beautiful, but I've never seen more people expressing their inner anger in my life. Whether it's what they're doing to the animals, or whether it's them shooting guns off all the time, or whether they drive their vehicles aggressively. I was watching a woman ride her horse the other day, just whipping it with the reins. It was just horrendous. I'm thinking, where is your relationship with this horse? I've been riding since I was 7. And I've owned my own horses and trained since I was 22. You don't have to whip a horse to get it to move out. If you have to whip it, you're doing something wrong. And I've ridden very rank horses, and I've ridden incredibly sweet, loving horses, and everything in between. So these people, I think they have to beat animals into submission. There's something within them that needs some inner work. But anyway, I tell these people with the guns, I say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And all these people joining the military, these little pricks at the top would fight their own battles. You'd see that there'll only be a handful of them. And they'd probably be the biggest chickens running for cover. But while they have other people picking up arms for them and fighting their battles for them, they think they're real tough, the wannabes. The wannabe leaders. The wannabe powers that be. And the day that we lay down arms and we don't go to war is the day we have peace on earth, heaven on earth. And heaven isn't above us somewhere floating in a cloud. It's here and now until we choose to create it. We're already floating in the astros. Why do people think heaven is when you die? Your consciousness and your energy is what it is. It doesn't change just because you croak. It changes when you change in that moment, because that's all you have is an eternal now moment. So in this moment, when you say, I choose peace, I choose love, and all these children that are going off to war, being chipped and injected with God knows what, they lose their legs and they come back and they get whatever, 10, 40,000, 20,000 for a lost limb. And they're cast aside. And then they say, my God, what did I do? Not only did they kill or experience that extreme of the polarity, but now they say, what can I do with my life? And it's never too late because your energy. So it's about your mind and your frequency. But things have got to change. If you're sitting down watching TV all the time and not learning, because I believe television can be a great tool for learning, but if you're watching 2.5 Men and those kind of shows, which I don't even know, that was popular back when I stopped watching television, but these shows that are just mindless, then really second guess what's the investment and how much are you putting into your day in front of the television set. Money is another control. Money, food, whatever, pharmaceuticals, they're controlling you through everything. Coffee. Everything's a neutral energy. I think that the key is the balance. When you look at money as a tool to barter and get what you need and not put that horrendous energy into it that you're enslaved by it, you will find that life will start flowing much more easily for you. I'm a workaholic. I always have been. And the more I used to worry about money, it seemed like the less I had. And the more I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just not going to worry about it. Suddenly, my needs were met. And that's all I ask for, is that my needs are met, and the needs of my animals. But, there comes a point where you just have to let it all go and say, even if I die, I can't worry about it. Because I don't want to die with that energy of being worried. I just want to let go when it's my time. So true unity comes through love, and it comes through seeing the person in front of you as an extension of yourself, because we really are all interconnected, and that goes for the plants and the minerals and the air and the water and everything. We are so connected, and what we do to this planet, we do to ourselves. And I don't know to what extreme that's going to have to happen before we actually wake up. But the first thing that I would say, that if I had one wish, it would be that everyone lays down arms. And I'll tell you, when you meet these gun-toting people, I mean, they are in that mindset, and there's nothing touching it. But there'll come a time. Might not be this time around. But we have to create it. It's true freedom. True freedom is honoring all life. All life. It's not living in a planet with war. So that's all I will say. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And you live with love, and you love yourself first. Then you can love everything outside of yourself. So it comes with loving yourself absolutely first. No addictions. Don't let anything control you. No substance. Nothing. It takes a while to reach that point, but it starts with you.